The best investment on earth is earth. The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land.
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life.
When you dey invest in property, there is one language in the real estate world. It says that real estate market is local.
Why local?
They always talk about global. Real estate market, you must not forget as a real estate investor that real estate market is local. What do I mean by that? So take for example, I remember one time like that because we do trainings a lot. So I remember one time like that, one of our training attendees, because he's been watching a lot of YouTube and all of that, he was trying to see how he can do a particular type of real estate investment that is common in countries where we say then they get access to loan where the loan then they get access to RAM. The rate that they give them they low and all of that. And those type of investment are common in those part of the world, In the ask how he can do, how he can be doing those type of investments in Nigeria. And I had to tell him that, you see, Nigeria is not there yet, because we don't have that type of system or financial structure where we say them be get for that place where they give them good access to loan at a cheap rate and for a long time. Some loans that they from some of these developers where we say they go tell you for 30 years, no deal with the principal at all. Just they pay the interest for 30 years. That you are going to pay the principal at the end of 30 years. So a lot of people, when they take that kind of loan, they rent out the property. Because when they rent out the property, money will then go make from renting the property out. You go fee pay the interest on the property. You understand? On the loan. You go fee they pay the interest on the loan. Still leave them with some change. And the property they appreciate as they go. So in 30 years' time, when that loan is now due to pay, the only thing they can do is to sell the property and use it to pay the loan. So meaning that for 30 years, even if it is $100, $50, $500 that they are making on a monthly basis on that property, that is profit for them. So meaning that they can actually aggregate. So you see a lot of them start to build waiting that they call property portfolio. That is, they have so many type of property investments we then don't do. Okay, so then they build property after property after property using that borrowing method, loaning money, getting loan from their banks that way, just interest only. Then they call those type of loan, interest only loan, and that's possible. But in Nigeria, there is no interest only loan yet, and even our mortgage that we have right now, the interest is still high. The tenure is still not more than 10-15 years in most places. I'm sure you can't find more than 10-15 years in most cases. Very, very exceptional cases you find beyond that. So that limits what we can do. Okay? So and the type of investment or transaction that can happen.
So wetin they watch for YouTube, the practicability is different from wetin they obtain.
Exactly. To apply it here, you may have to change some things, remodel, reconfigure, to just rework it to suit our own environment. Or it may be that some of those things are not even here yet in any shape or form.
But me, I want make you explain well. Okay, you hear me when you say real estate is a local market. Okay, you hear me that?
Okay. One of the ways you associate or differentiate properties is what we call regional. Regional means of differentiating property. So property in Ajao Estate, they are different from property in Ikeja. They are different from property in Victoria Island. They are different from property in Olorunshogo, Mushin. They are different from property in so like that. It's local.
In Mowe.
Exactly. Exactly. There are things that would inform properties or characterize properties everywhere where they are. Say for example now, a lot of properties in Ajao Estate, one of the strong selling points is close to the airport. If you remember,
nearest to airport, then.
So when you advertise those things, you say nearest to airport. Take Ibadan now, where this place, Moniya, where the train stop. I think it's in Moniya now.
I don't know.
I think so. People from Oyo can confirm to us. I think it's in Moniya. I want to think so. Where the train stops now. Before, the place wasn't really that busy
But
in terms
now
of
when
real estate.
train don enter,
You understand? It don't,
na point of advert.
you know, it don't too shop. It don't they swell up small
Because
because
activities.
more interest is going
Yeah,
there. People are
activities.
getting more interested
Yeah,
and all. And there are people who want to situate either their home or their business or both around the place because of the rail
Then,
that has come in.
even
So,
anywhere where university dey, I hear say that one sef dey bring development.
of course. You know, so those are some of the things we mean when we say real estate is local. Is local.
Well, real estate is
So,
local.
yeah. So as an investor, you must have that in mind. And when you are doing any real estate, you get to find out wetin be the things wey dey, you know, wey dey impact real estate here, whether positively or negatively.
Say pe negatively na another one.
E dey. E may not be negative, but e dey. Take for example, when you mention Lekki to anybody, when you mention Okota,
I understand.
when you mention Victoria Island to anybody, the first thing that will come to their mind is water.
Then water.
And water gets its own implication. Wey be say
anytime wey
the type of foundation wey you go do, the cost of the construction wey you go do there, and all of that go come in. So
you wan do Sanfili abi you wan
so you can't be using the cost of what you did in Ikorodu. You understand? To be judging what you want to do in Okota.
In Okota abi in Lekki.
Or in Lekki.
True that. He don enligh ten us. Engineer Debo don make us realize say real estate is a local market. Make we hold that one for our hand. Say despite I say we dey shout global for real estate, local market ni. Na market wey be say you suppose look make you know kilo n ṣẹlẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ gangan, make person get contact with am if possible. We go on this shikini break. When we come back, property matter go dey continue. Please go nowhere.
Hey, subscribe. I mean, that you've watched up to this point means that you've been enjoying this episode. Encourage us to continue to put out valuable content like this by pressing the subscribe button. Just subscribe. It is absolutely free. A lot of people tell me, your channel is loaded, valuable content there and all of that. Encourage us by subscribing. It will help us do more. Subscribe right away.
Another thing is that for a real estate investor, you cannot afford to ignore people wey be say dem go take the property wey you dey invest in from you as tenants. You need to profile your tenants. Don't ignore or overlook who your tenants would be. That's number one. You need to, when you are investing in a property, you need to project who your type of tenants would be. That's number one. Number two, still around tenants, you need to be say tenants na your customer and you must treat them as such. You know, as we dey talk say customer na king. Customer is always right. Service excellence to the customer experience, you know. So you must put up all of these things towards your customer. Reason be say, if you invest in a property, you don't put your money on top of am. You say you go rent am out for one particular price. You don't get person wey you don rent am out to, but you no come service that person well. You know wetin go happen? Very soon, the person go carry im kaya leave the property for you. Abi? When he leaves the property, the period between when he leaves and when you get another one is called void.
Window period.
It's called void in real estate, meaning that your property is vacant for that period. It's empty. It's not occupied. It's not generating money. Rent will not come in for that period where one person don leave and you dey look for another person. So if you dey have a lot of that kind of period because of your poor level of service, there are so many things that can contribute to void. But let's even say that your own na because na poor service you dey give or poor tenant experience. Poor tenant experience dey happen for your property. You go dey get too many gaps wey be say money no dey come in. That property will not be a good investment for you because too many gaps wey void go dey increase, you know, wey be say rent no dey come in. Out of 1 year or out of 5 years, maybe your property will be empty for like 1 year.
Oh, calculate everything.
When you calculate all of the time wey you dey take get new one by one, and
No
they
shortage.
always go come back. So cost of acquiring a new tenant also will be there. So you need to look at that, okay, and ensure that you don't overlook your customer. In the sense, say, when you dey buy this property, number one, you go first of all don ask yourself, what type of customers am I preparing for?
Yeah.
For example, now in Nigeria, we don't have so many grade A office complexes in the country. But there was a time that they were increasing in number.
What do you mean by grade A office?
So grade A office now, because offices and things in real estate are graded. Grade A office is like office where we say everything dey. Shasha, they work. Maybe smart, doors, smart lights, lifts are working, everywhere is clean, top grade finishing in the things, almost like luxury environment.
Okay.
You understand? So those type of offices, a lot of economic factor informs their being occupied or they are even being provided by investors.
Then,
When Nigeria was
obviously we look
witnessing,
at the return.
when our economy was growing a lot and we are having a lot of
Foreign investors.
coming in, or people are starting ideas, or existing companies are growing, a lot of people are migrating from grade C, B complexes to grade A. So they were witnessing a lot of patronage. But during any law in the economy, what happens usually is that you see people leaving those type of apartments to other
B or
grade,
C.
or reducing the size they are
Occupying.
occupying in those places smaller. So the investors in those type of places or in those type of apartments will start to feel it. And you will see that during this COVID and all of that issue, a lot of even shopping complexes had to negotiate with their tenants, to come to some even gave them rebates. Some told them not to pay. If they are looking for new tenant, they will tell you service charge free for 3 months, just to attract, so
or to still keep them in business.
So you have to see, that these are very important. Okay, so you need to assess these things that I'm getting into. Who are the type of people that are supposed to be my tenants, and are they available? Is their business growing? Will I be able to see them easily, and will they be able to afford the rent? That's one. Two is good service to retain them, good experience. When they complain of things, you cannot overlook it. You have to engage them if they have any issue. Talk to them and all of that, and make sure that you are giving them good service, such that if they decide to leave, the decision to leave will not be because of poor service. Because if you continue to have that over and over, it will have serious impact on your money. Yes, so it will affect with the pepper wey go dey rest for account.
So, for instance, if something happen now, and if something happen between tenant and some landlord go fit go, if he wan go, make e go jere, so that if he go, the new person wey dey come, he go collect maybe 2-year rent or maybe 1 year according to law now. Then he go collect agreement and commission, which they see as, most of them see as an opportunity. And you see that most times, most landlord even dey pursue, they go frustrate tenants to comot.
So what you are saying is an anomaly. You understand? No be the thing which dey happen regularly. Why? You say no be landlord suppose dey collect agreement and agency in the first place. I understand. No, I get what. That's why I say na abnormal situation. So when we say the landlord be the agent and he be the lawyer, they collect all of those things. That one fit happen true. But remember, if you look at our past episode, we talked about the implication of doing some of these things without knowledge, not using professionals. Yeah. By the time the issue comes, remember the one of the house where they manufacture hard drug inside, and the law for EFCC now wey be say if you collect Yahoo boy for house, your house if you go to jail, So all of those things are abnormalities, okay? And even at that.
Sorry, sir, please. Yeah. Sorry, sir. Abdullahi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Fine, sir.
Well, I'll go on with your question. I'll get here.
I I just entered the program. I was watching on TV. I want to ask question. What is the meaning of void?
Void.
Okay.
Because I don't really understand it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Abdullah from Kogi.
Abdullah from Kogi. Void be say the period wey be say your property wey you own as landlord no dey occupied by a tenant, so you no dey collect rent for that period. Those period dem na im dem dey call void, meaning that the place is vacant, is empty, is not occupied, so it's not generating money for you. Okay, that's what they call void. So lastly, so that's like
abnormally.
Abnormally.
But e don turn sharp practice now.
I understand now. I understand.
Landlord na him go dey do agent.
So that's
why
see
so
wetin
any small thing they go dey happy make e go.
See wetin you call am now. You say sharp practice. Some go dey those days that they call them Shylock landlords.
Yeah, Shylock in one.
Now, so all of that are abnormal situations.
And
so when somebody is doing sharp practices, of course, it's part of it to be trying to frustrate somebody else so that he can get more money. It's part of sharp practice or Shylock behavior. So that is to be expected, but it's an abnormal situation.
And thank God say law don dey to carry, because if you na only you profile, na only you agent, na only you, so if wahala e come
na only you go swallow
am. Not like
since na only you chop the money.
Abi?
Since na only you chop the money.
Because most of them, let's truth be told, they see joy in let this person go quick, so that if another person come.
I reckon. So the last one we'll talk about to avoid this. You need to, as an investor, you must always plan. What about if this current economy that we are facing, that is favoring the business where you invest?
What if it dwindles?
What if it changes? What are you going to do? So you must have a plan B. It's always important to have a plan B, that when situation changes from what you know it to be in your investment, you must have what you would do to salvage or to remedy the situation, to save yourself from going down the drain. Like we said, if you are doing a grade A investment, you are the owner of grade A office complexes now, and the economy is booming, everybody is venturing and all. At the back of your mind, you must have a plan B, that if economy dwindles and people are not coming as they should again, what will I do, to continue to ensure that I have good whatever. So there are situations where people convert, or they have the ability to be able to convert some of those spaces to residential.
Okay.
So it becomes a mixture of offices, residential, and even commercial in terms of retail, whatever. They have situations where they convert some part of these things to like short letting now. Or to like space co-working space. So that if people can't afford so much, at least they can afford a little, that can enable them make use of a quality environment for their work whenever they need it. So these are things that you need to be prepared about.
Yeah, so you need to be prepared about them, because we don't go through them since last week, and to the glory of God, we don't get what we call soft landing this week. So most definitely when we come your way again next week, we are coming with something new, something interesting, something exciting. We say we could learn something new from Engineer Debo. I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yes, from Engineer Debo and myself, we talk.
Bye. See you next week.